What's going on, guilty guys and gals? We're on to another build. You can see in the bottom left, Zephyrum. I think the link is in the description, should still work. Chapters 2 to 6. We'd like to see that. And yeah, my save easy as heck to move over. Hopefully it didn't like corrupt anything. Am I wearing clothes again? No. Okay. So it really saved everything. Alright, well, we're going to be playing Chapter 4 from the investigation to hopefully the trial. We'll see how long this investigation is. But, yeah, here we are. A whole new world.
Huh? What is this blood spot?
Right next to me is Kakeru, whose blood goes all around the library. It's not that strange there could be blood spots on the floor, but this blood spot looked kind of different.
It's the only one this far away from Kakeru's corpse. This blood spot is...
Hey, Yuki, what are you doing sitting on the floor?
Oh, Haruhiko, do you know where this bloodstain came from?
Right. That's where Tsurugi was.
This is where you found him?
Well, when we entered the library, Kakeru was there, like he is now, and Tsurugi, he was lying in that position and unconscious. You didn't know because you didn't see him.
That's right. I heard Tsurugi was struck on the head and bleeding, but... You mean he spilled out this much blood?
You thought it was a joke? Tsurugi had to disinfect and bandage him, but, he's okay for now. At first I really thought he was dead.
Tsurugi was lying over here. Then I can't imagine that he knocked someone else's head from the back. When and how did the killer attack Tsurugi to stun him? And if it was enough to make him bleed this much, why did they stop with that? Kakeru and Kanata were the only ones who were killed, even though there was an obvious malice behind it. The fact that the Blackened could kill up to 2 people was only later added as a rule. The criminal wouldn't have known about it. If Tsurugi wakes up, I'll have to ask him.
Nice. Whoa, the music just went back to... Was this the music before? What's happening? Is Dracula gonna pop out? I'm scared. Oh, is there new investigation music? In the new version? Is that what happened? Well. Hey, man.
Kakeru's corpse stretched loosely on the floor of the library. In contrast to his...
What?
In contrast to his broken body, he was drooped over. His pupils were... His eyes were glazed over. He felt empty. This is a man's death. I've seen it many times already. Real people dying. Kakeru, you were the one who talked sense into us just yesterday. There's no time to be sad. Even for Kakeru, we must find out who did this to him. I've decided to investigate his body. I felt something hard and cold.
Oh my.
According to the Monokuma file, it was said that he was cut by something sharp. Indeed, there was a terrible wound I could see with my eyes.
Okay. Amaguchi. Whoa, it's Anamanaguchi.
Kakeru's neck was completely cut from the back to the front, but it was surprisingly wasn't cut completely, a piece of flesh barely hanging on to leave it attached. I put up with the nausea that came up in me and looked at the wound. I'd heard that the injured area was ravenously torn by something like a knife or tool, but in Kakeru's case, it was cut neatly as if you were cutting paper with a knife.
With a cutter knife?
Ugh, I can't look at this anymore. It's terrible. Poor Kakeru, spilling out so much blood. Like Kizuna. Huh? As my stomach was still quaking, I suddenly felt uncomfortable. Surely, blood in the library was no joke. I ran from the corridor to the body of Kakeru, and it was also protruding from his body.
They just mean there's a lot of blood?
His neck isn't bleeding anymore. Looking at the Monokuma file, it said that there were no other visible trauma other than the neck wound. Then this tremendous amount of blood that had to flow out of his neck only?
I mean, that is where you got your biggest blood pumps that you can get. I guess if you stabbed him in the heart, too, but I don't know.
Kakeru's time of death was 8:40 a.m. From this wound, immediate death is certain, so even if the wound started bleeding after then, it hasn't yet passed even an hour. Why is the blood no longer flowing from his throat? When I recall the words of Kanata, who is no longer here, it seems that after the heart stops, blood circulation also stops. So, in the case of this immediate death, the blood should have flowed even less. But isn't it too early? In a similar case, when I investigated Kazuna's corpse, there was a little blood coming out from her still. In contrast, Kakeru's body looks dry already. It's been less than an hour since the blood is spilled, but it's already dried up? I knew something was wrong, but there was no way to think about it anymore. I didn't have the knowledge that Kanata or Tsurugi had. A professional insight in these moments would be nice. Yeah. Kanata can't speak to us anymore, but Tsurugi's still alive. I'll have to ask him if he wakes up.
I like how Yuki is definitely just leaning into the if he wakes up. He's not even, like, giving him the benefit of when he wakes up.
Killing two people at once? How heinous is this person? This killer? It's not me. Don't doubt it.
Okay, that's fine.
Damn it. Kakeru and Kanata are dead. I couldn't even say goodbye.
Even so, we have to survive for them.
Okay, let's do some more research. There may be something in the bookshelf. So, leave it to me.
Wait, now we're back to the other investigation music. Did for some reason this event play the wrong investigation music? Like, is that the final investigation music? Oops! Nope, nothing else here. Maybe I can... Okay.
A huge blood trail from Kakeru's body to the library door. Is all of this his blood? There's something wrong with this. It's a terrible amount to look at, but I've seen a situation like this before. It was dark back then, sure. I couldn't see well. Kizuna shed such a tremendous amount of blood when she died. However, there seems to be more from Kakeru in terms of quantity, because the blood leads all the way out into the corridor. There's also this. In Kizuna's case, there were two wounds, one on the neck and the other in the stomach. It was discovered several hours after her death, so she'd already bled. Less than an hour after death, and no matter how deeply he was injured, could Kakeru really emit this amount of blood from just his neck? Not only that, the shape of the blood is also a little strange. It looks as if the body of Kakeru was dragged into the library from outside. I'll have to check this out for a bit. Huh? When I slightly lifted his body...
Wow. He's not a small man, Yuki. Good for you.
When I slightly lifted Kakeru's body and looked at the floor where he was lying, I immediately felt a sense of discomfort. If the corpse was brought from outside, there shouldn't be blood under his corpse. But that's what's here. Blood spots are all over his body. Thanks to that, Kakeru's stomach and chest were wet with blood. The shape of the bleeding itself certainly feels like dragging the corpse from the floor to the outside, but if that was so, there'd be no blood left under the corpse like this. No, before that, if there was blood under the body, it means there was blood here before he fell. Is that right, though? But Kanata didn't really seem to have bled, so this blood must be his. I don't really know, but I noticed something strange about the situation with the blood sea in the library at Kakeru's body. It's a little insensitive. I'll mark it down and discuss it with the others at class trial. Whoa, the blood changed. Did you see that? Some weird things are going on. Like, seriously, how did this much blood come out? Like it spilled out like the water? I don't know, man. I don't know. So like... Also, I just realized the clocks are
diamonds. I probably actually mentioned that before, but I was like, wait a second. How does that work? They're circular for a reason. The hand would get stuck. Anyway.
Yuki. Akane, what are you doing? Is there something going on in the hallway? Well, that's not exactly right. The smell of blood in there, and I keep looking at the body. I just get sick. Oh, that. Are you okay? You don't have to overdo it. Oh no, everyone's working so hard. I can't be the exception. The class trial's going to start soon. It's all right. Why don't you answer a few questions for me, Akane? You want to ask me something? Yeah, when Mikako, Kinji, and I went to investigate the 3rd floor, would you tell me what happened on the 2nd floor at that time? Yeah, she should know. She should know this at least. Almost at the same time the body discovery announcements rang, Tsurugi fainted. It's full of holes my own eyes don't see. Okay. Oh, okay. I can help with that. Simple enough. But there's really not that much to tell. Yuki, we were shaken when we found the body, and then we just started investigating. Okay. I don't know if this has anything to do with the case, Yuki, but there's something I was a little confused about. Is it okay to say it? Sure. What's that? Nada, you said you found her in the science lab, right? But I stopped by the science lab just before nighttime yesterday, too. However, at that time the door was locked. Huh? The door to the science lab was locked? Yeah. Do you think that's related to the case? It's true. The door didn't open even when we found Kanata's body. It was blocked with something like a clasp. Then, the door was already closed before nighttime began yesterday? I think I'll take that for later. Thank you, Akane. Was I helpful? I'm glad then. By the way, why did you go to the science lab just before nighttime yesterday? Oh, that was because last night I did a bit of mincemeat in it when I tried to use the scissors on my wrist.
Oh.
Were those scissors in the science lab? Yeah, I wasn't sane back then yesterday, so I went to the science lab to pick up the scissors. I understand. I get it. Thanks, Akane.
Okay. Before nighttime yesterday, the science lab was already closed. What does that mean? I'll have to go check it out. Yes, indeed. Let's talk to Kinji.
Kinji, are you okay? Don't overdo it, okay?
Oh, it is not a deep wound, so do not mind me. By the way, have you seen the cell phone?
Cell phone? You mean Kyoka's cell phone that we found on the 3rd floor? I thought you were keeping hold of it.
Yes, I always kept it in my top pocket because I didn't know when we would need it. But now I realize the phone is gone.
It disappeared?
It's the wrong name again. I was like, wait, what? No.
When was the last time you checked for the cell phone?
It was until at least yesterday at night that I recall having it. After my fainting, it seems it disappeared.
Then that means the killer probably took it.
That is a sinister premonition, yet I have to agree. However, the cell phone doesn't seem important right now. First, we must investigate.
I wonder where the cell phone went.
Yes, I wonder. Where could it have gone? Oh god. Can I step in this, or will I be electrocuted?
I inadvertently tried to walk towards the science lab, but I was surprised. Water from the room was filling the corridor now. Water's still leaking from in there? It won't matter if I just go in, but from what Ray warned me before, it gives me something to be cautious of. I shouldn't step in this water.
Oh, I'm here to fix your problems. Hey, incompetent, get out of the way quickly. You're obstructing traffic.
Ray, you came, but the water...
Are you still talking? Would you get out of the way already?
But, Ray, you said we shouldn't touch the water just a while ago. What are you doing? And if you are going in there, Wouldn't it be dangerous?
It's fine to enter now, so feel free to go in. I spoke with Monokuma earlier to put it away.
It?
You'll know when you enter the science lab. Still, no one seems to be turning off the faucet. You guys really don't have a clue, do you? You don't have Tsurugi Kinjo to lead you around anymore.
Put what away? What faucet? For the love of God, would you look directly with your own two eyes and think with your head for once? It would be nice if I could... It would be nice if I didn't have to tell you everything, huh? Hey, you could have just walked past me the whole time. There's no point in being so irritating about it. Well, since Ray said that it's safe to walk in the water, I should be confident now. Like she said, let's see what happened with my own eyes.
It sounds like I'm walking on a tiny xylophone. Too bad it wasn't a water extinguisher. Here we are. Can I turn off the faucet? Oh, nope, it's the Monokuma file by accident. Whoops, okay.
An object next to Kanata's body. It's the Monokuma file 3-2 brought by that thing. Information about Kanata should be written in it.
You'd think Monokuma wouldn't put it on the floor where it probably got drowned in water and destroyed, whether it's electronic or paper.
The victim is Kanata Inori.
Okay, well, I don't have to do the voice. The estimated time of death is about 8:35. The body was found in the science lab. I love how it's like her entire body, like all the blood splatters. The cause of death is electric shock. The body's internal organs have been burned through the wet... Burned because of a wet body and an electric current for a long time while being bound. Yikes.
Terrible. Not a drop of blood was shed, and yet this is the most terrible thing someone has done to a friend. Doing this to Kanata, the one who was the smallest and weakest among us.
Among us? I'm sorry.
The culprit behind this, it's fair to say that we're distressed to have to doubt another friend against our will, but at this very moment, the undeniable anger that I felt has risen against this perpetrator, who I don't even know who they are yet. It's different from Kakeru. He was presumed to be killed on his neck with a single blow. In Kanata's case, she was a victim that was killed in front of her very own eyes. A few moments ago, with a single wall between the door of the science lab, I heard her scream.
Oh, killed in front of our very own eyes.
Her pain, her cries, her agony so clearly. I can't help but feel this anger, even if it won't make a difference. Since it's just a Monokuma file that gives me information, I'll have to make use of it. But this alone isn't enough information. From what we can deduce now is that the time of death was 8:35. She died 5 minutes earlier than Kakeru. Around that time, we couldn't open the science lab and we're just outside the room. There was no problem from that time at least. But killing two people in that short a time span... At that time, we were walking between the second and third floors. We were going back and forth between the areas. If you were going back and forth between the areas, you'd definitely stand out. How could the killer murder two people with only 5 minutes for each?
That's the question, right? Oh, now we're on the other investigation music again. What is going on? Please turn off the faucet.
Right. The reason why the science lab was flooded like this is because of this faucet. What a huge waste of water. But I guess now's not the time to think about this. I hurriedly turned the faucet and stopped the water from flowing. Well, there's no reason for the water to fill anything now. Also, this must have been done by the killer intentionally. But for what reason? To make the science lab a sea of water?
I mean, Yuki, we just read the Monokuma file where it said she died by electric shock because of the water. That's why we couldn't step in it earlier, remember? I can't check that? Okay. Oh, I can go around this.
What's this?
A wooden stick-like object was floating on the water, filling the science lab floor. Oh, you just ripped a leg off a stool or something?
Oh, that's right. When the science lab's door didn't open, it was because this thing was jammed in the door, and Ray removed it. When we found Kanata's body, we had a hard time because the door of the science lab wouldn't be opened, and it seems that the killer used this object to block the door. When I picked it up and checked it up close, it seemed to be an ordinary wooden stick. It was very thick, so it'd be natural if the sliding door was blocked by something like this. When I looked at the back of the door, I saw a space where a wooden board could fit in. If it was closed while standing behind the door, then the closed room scenario would naturally be complete. However, what was the reason for the killer to make a closed room? A reason to lock the room. I'll keep that in mind.
Okay. How the hell did this happen? It's made of wood. Like, how could they possibly have put it across the door and then got out? It's a real question. Let me look around a bit. Okay, now the locker was already open. Hold on. There we go. Some optimal drips.
I was seeing Kanata's body sinking in the water. It seemed like she was floating in tears. We're investigating the bodies of some of our dead friends with no time to grieve. However, without the investigation, the killer wouldn't be identified. In order to survive the class trial, I must investigate.
This is maybe the worst one in this game so far. I don't know.
For now, I decided to look at the body of Kanata based on what was written in the Monokuma file. Kanata's body was so terrible that you didn't want to look at it, but for now, all of her clothes and skin seemed to be burnt. Her whole body was fixed with several layers of box tape, and her hands were tied with ropes and hung from the table. Kanata, in the state of being unable to move, suffered terrible pain and then died. Damn it! I continued to investigate while my swearing reached hollow ears. The tools that were used on Kanata, I remember seeing box tape and ropes in the art room. It seems for whatever reason the art room is a place related to the incident as well. Other than that, I can only think of, well, the fact that the faucet where she's tied to is the same table, and there are many miscellaneous tools around. But do they really have anything to do with the case? The box tape was tightly attached to her shoulders, 5 layers, making it so that even a strong adult man wouldn't be able to tear it off with their own strength. And also, it must have been even harder for Kanata, who was so small in size. Was there any reason to tie her up to this extent? Was it just the killer's idea? Is that it? Looking at it that way, Kanata's always been in the infirmary after it was opened. Maybe there's a clue in that place too.
Oh, this is a real, like, go everywhere case, huh?
This is...
Mm-hmm. Deep in the water pool of the science lab, I saw something I'd seen somewhere before.
This is Kyoka's mobile phone? Probably. The cell phone that Kinji discovered on the first day of the 3rd floor being open. I haven't seen any other phones, so Kyoka's would be the only natural fit. Why is her cell phone in this place? I looked up at the sides wondering, but as soon as I saw the screen, I noticed that the phone wasn't in good condition. What? Why is the screen like this? The phone screen was crumpled with a mixture of purple and pink. The clock turned into a strange language rather than numbers. And the buttons weren't fit properly. To put it simply, it's broken. Well, I guess it's only natural because it was underwater. I couldn't hide my disappointment, hoping that I might be able to fix this phone and get in touch with the outside world later on. No, right now the class trial should be the main priority. But does this mean that the mobile phone was used as some kind of tool for the incident in this case? Thinking that way, I fiddled with the phone a little more and noticed a small alarm indicator at the top of the screen. The alarm was set to 8:30, but it's already gone off now. Who set the alarm? Besides, at 8:30 was just before we tried to open the science lab door. As I pondered, it's very likely the phone was involved in the incident, because it was not only that, there was another tool attached to the phone's strap.
I'm interested to how this all works, really.
This is, if I'm not mistaken, it could be...
The object connected to the cell phone strap was something I'd seen in cartoons and movies.
An electric shocker?
I'm just gonna say it.
A taser? I think it was also called a stun gun. Why would such dangerous objects be at the school? Well, no, it seems they were in the storage of the science lab, but... That's right. Now I can understand what Ray said. Probably because the stun gun was using its power into the pit of water. If I'd entered it in that state, there was a high chance that I would have gotten electrocuted. But now it seems it's not working. That was also because Ray told Monokuma to put it away. More importantly than that is that this is far from the crime scene. According to Monokuma file, Kanata's death was caused by electrocution, so it's probably definitive this is the most likely murder weapon. But what reason does it have to be connected to the phone strap? Also, that's not the only weird thing. If you think about it, if the weapon was a stun gun, it means the killer struck Kanata with this object. But then contradictions show up, such as a locked room scenario in the science lab and the crime that was done to Kakeru. There's nothing to suggest that the killer could only attack directly on their victim. Maybe making the science lab fill with water like this was to prepare an effective crime scene.
There you go. He finally got it, folks. Slow clap for Yuki. He did it. Ray's just standing over there rolling her eyes.
If electricity goes on while you're immersed in water, you're in a danger zone.
Okay.
The rest... What we need to figure out now is how the killer made the water be energized and what method they use. I'll have to speak about this with the others.
Okay. What? Why do you want me to... Okay, it's just a sink. Why do you want me to check it so bad? You didn't follow me, did you? At least you listened. When you came in here, you know... At least you listened when you came in here. You know now the reason why I told you not to touch the water, and why this place became filled with water.
Yeah, but... Ray, I wanted to ask you something else.
Do you think I'll answer?
I'm serious. I really have a question. It was when you were in the art room locker. You asked me to show you my hand as soon as you left, right? Why did you do that?
I won't answer this now. However, it was just simple safety. No matter what happens, the only thing that lives on is insurance. It's the minimal precaution that's needed.
Insurance?
The two of us aren't close enough to explain every phrase of mine to you, am I right? Don't worry, Psycho Cop won't be able to serve you this time, so you should have insurance yourself. When you guys feel so clueless that you get no other ways to go and are on the verge of death, if that shows up in the trial, then I'll show you my trump card. So please, try to make sure that doesn't have to happen.
Ray began to investigate Kanata's body again, leaving only empty silence at the end. It's the moment that it seems she'll no longer speak to me. At that time, Ray had to make sure to give her my... Ray made sure I gave her my right hand. I took a long look at my right hand, but there wasn't anything special there. Is this something only Ray knows?
I mean, she said when we were moving that she left a mark on that, her attacker, right? So, it's such a funny sound. So I imagine somebody's got a scratch on their hand. You wear gloves, right? Just saying. Hiya, Yuki! The hallway is a water bath. Are there any other kinds? Don't answer that. And the art room is full of bloody lockers. Why is everything so bad?
It seems the culprit this time planned the crime by going from place to place.
That's a very intelligent killer. I wonder if Satsuki can win. Against such a mighty opponent. I'm a little worried. Okay.
The locker that contained miscellaneous art tools, now the inside is covered with blood and in terrible condition. Ray was bound up in this bloody locker. At that time, her arms and legs were tied with tape, and her mouth was taped as well. She was locked from the outside and hit the door of the locker from the inside to try to get out. The result was that rumbling sound that echoed on the second floor. And the killer did all of this, right? Apparently the culprit trapped her here for some reason. Otherwise, if he did all of this, it would only create more suspicion. Not only Ray, the attack on Kinji and Tsurugi must have had their reason as well. But the bigger issue is, well, the bloody locker. If you think about Kakeru or Kanata's body, it doesn't seem like it's related to the art room. However, what does the blood in the locker suggest? No matter who it's from, it's pretty difficult to miss. The blood is also dried. Kanata didn't seem to have any bleeding, and Kakeru had too much. But he died not long ago, and Rei was also tied in here but wasn't bleeding. If that's the case, it could be Tsurugi's blood. It's the only guess I have, but Tsurugi got hit on his head. If this amount came out of his head, wouldn't he have died? This blood's identity is troublesome in more way than one. I've got no choice but to discuss it at the class trial.
Alright. And now we're back to the other investigation music. Oh boy. It's like a whirlwind, I can't keep up. Did anything happen in the casino? Play some card games? No. Okay, so what was the other place? Science lab, art room, library. Whatever this room is, I don't know what it is. Oh, that's the dojo. I guess you could just say like the exercise room or whatever, but I don't know. Oh right, Tsurugi was... No, Tsurugi was in that other place. Why did I seem to remember Tsurugi being at the power room? Why do I remember that? Is that totally wrong? Okay, never mind. Oh, I gotta go to the you-know-where. The last place I ever look. Oh, hi, Makako.
Makako, you came down to the first floor. Did you figure something out?
Don't look at me like that.
Makako? Originally, Makako was always standing without a word, but now it looks like she's being cautious. Is it because of the mood? I don't think she's open to talk to me now, so I decided to leave her alone. Let's continue investigating.
Oh dear. Not her, we need her. She's our last hope, Yuki, you don't get it. If Rei won't help us, there's only one person who can. Hey, buddy. Oh, what? You're not gonna give me Tsurugi's death bed talk? There's a name for it, but I don't remember it. Hold on, let me grab my translator. Let's see what this roughly says. Oh, I gotta go to camera mode. That would help. Yes, it would. Hopefully it doesn't make more text in like 3 seconds. That would be annoying.
There's a bed, similar to the dormitories, but it smells like disinfectant.
Wait. Hold on. Oh, okay. There we go. That's why.
It's Tsurugi who fainted.
Fainted is a bit of an understatement.
The others treated him here and put him in the infirmary's bed. There's no way Tsurugi will be finished here. When will you wake up? We're in a lot of trouble without you.
He wakes up now and he just like grabs Yuki. He's like, you! Anyway. There's supposed to be clues here. Not there.
The refrigerator. The refrigerator is a place to store transfusion packs individually stored for each blood type. I was surprised when I opened it. Huh? No way! There aren't any transfusion packs! There were no more than 20 packs left last time I saw them. Who used them all so recently? No, where would you even use a blood transfusion pack?
I mean,
let's think for a moment. When could the packs have disappeared? I recall them being stored properly until at least yesterday. Then that leaves... Was it the killer's doing? Even if the culprit is the one, why do they need to take a transfusion pack? Do they need fresh blood? Are they a vampire?
Bandages and disinfections, nothing is unusual. It's not unusual. Nothing crazy. The cleanest trash can I've ever seen. It's so clear and doesn't have any dirt. Nothing in the hospital trash, huh? Oh, there it is. Okay. That's the button for zapping. Wait, is there still stuff in here, or do I have it all? I mean, I looked at this. Is there anything else? No, okay, I have it all. Good to know. So I'm still missing some things. So I'm gonna have to go look for that.
What?
What did they say last episode? No, 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 no. Okay. I already talked to Akane. Checked all that. Is there anything like hidden back here that I didn't look at? Doesn't seem like it. By the way, this is a super handy feature. I just wish it wasn't linked to shift. Because I'm going to get sticky keys very soon. Okay, what about here? This room? What's this room? Oh, this is the art room. Did I miss something in here? Talk to Satsuki, I talked to the locker. Apparently there's some stuff in the trash, okay?
Huh? I wondered if there might be something here too, and I inadvertently looked at the trash can and was surprised to find something. I thought it was just tissue paper, but looking at it closely, it looks more like a type of cloth. I took out the unidentified piece of cloth from the trash and opened it. Let's see.
Uh-oh.
Are these clothes? No, it's not just clothes. This is... No way! They were indeed so blood-soaked it was difficult to recognize the original color, but the pure white color that looked at a glance reminded me that it was originally a white gown worn by doctors.
It's Kanata's lab coat.
The white coat that Kanata was wearing. When I think about it, her body I saw in the science lab wasn't wearing her white coat. To think I would find it in such an unexpected place. No, in fact, it may not be so unexpected. The place where the corpses were found are the science lab and the library, but the art room is pretty close to the area of the incident. The locker where Ray was found is the same as this lab coat. It seems the blood from the coat has been there for some time. It didn't feel wet at all. Where did the killer use this white coat? For starters, Kanata didn't seem to have any bleeding, so maybe it was used while killing Kakeru? No, that isn't right. It's too dry to be his blood. I thought it would be an important clue, so I was able to make a new discovery while investigating every corner of the white coat.
Oh.
In the pocket of the white coat, I found a crumpled plastic wrap. When I opened it carefully, I could see it was blood-stained. The locker, the library floor, the white coat, and now this. There's too many blood-related clues. What happened here? When I look closely, the plastic wrap has a small round hole in the middle, but the meaning of it is unknown. I guess I'll have to talk about it in the trial. It's possible it was somehow used to prevent blood, but wrapping a plastic for the sake of that? Would it really have anything to do with the clues we found?
Bloody tarp. Okay, well that's a little incorrect. So killer. Why? Why the art room garbage can? You could have put it in one of the lockers and it probably would have been less noticeable. The garbage can is clear, like it's transparent. Oh well. I'm sure they were quote unquote in a rush or something. Oh god.
Huh? This plaster weapon, was it originally here? I thought it was against the plaster on the right. I don't come to the art room often, so I'm not so sure. I don't know. Maybe it's just an illusion. The moment I tried to make that judgment and move my steps, I saw a spot of blood. The spear. Is this blood? It wasn't very notable, but there was a circular red dot on the tip of the blade. I picked up the spear and smelled that part.
Smelled?
A faint but fishy smell. This is blood! Then the weapon that killed Kakeru was something long and sharp. If it was long, this might yet be the murder weapon. After using it to kill Kakeru, it was returned back to the same place where it was originally, but the location was slightly different because the killer was mistaken? Looking at the blood on it, it must be something related to the case somehow. But why is the blood so tiny and in a circular splatter? It was so tiny I almost missed it. Did it bounce off onto this? No, that wouldn't have caused the blood to splatter in the first place. I don't think I have the evidence to figure this out yet.
Okay. Oh, I did it. Good for me. Okay, there is absolutely no way Kakeru got slashed in the neck by a spear. If you're going to use a spear to kill somebody, why would you use it as a slashing weapon? I don't know. I guess you can, but...
I think we're almost done by now. The culprit is still a mystery, damn it. Maybe more investigation is required. Monokuma hasn't called yet, so...
Oh, not even bandages?
Tsurugi, you're awake!
Yuki.
Wait, is he like holding his sleeve? Like without his hand coming out of it? Like a... Okay, anyway.
Are you okay? What about your bandages? It wasn't a small wound from what I heard.
Now's not the time to bother about that. Yuki, did a murder occur?
Yeah, just a little while ago. The class trial is about to begin. Tsurugi, I'm so glad you woke up.
I'm sorry, but I don't have time to talk. I have to see the scene of the crime before the trial starts. Yuki, did you do some investigation? Do you know where the scene is?
He doesn't know this too.
Yeah. Start with the library, then the science lab, then the art room, and then the infirmary.
Alright, thanks.
Tsurugi, wait a minute!
What's wrong? Look, I'm sorry, but like I said before, I don't have much time right now. If I go to the trial without knowing anything about the case, it's over. I'll talk to you later, alright?
But what I'm trying to ask you right now is related to the investigation. It's okay if it's simple, right? So just answer me. What happened to you?
I saw the bloody Kakeru.
Eh?
I saw blood coming from the library, so I went to investigate. Kakeru was collapsed on the floor in a puddle of blood. No matter how much I see corpses, I couldn't hide my surprise. Taking that little pause as their chance, someone attacked me from behind. I don't have any memory after that.
Wait, you're talking about yesterday at nighttime, right?
Yeah.
What I mean is, Kakeru was lying on the floor all bloody since yesterday at night.
Yes. If you walk around the scene right away, you'll notice it. Kakeru's dead, right?
Yeah. Not only him, but Kanata as well.
What? Kanata too?
The culprit in this case isn't a simple killer. They're a heinous mind that killed 2 people in a single day.
That damned asshole. I'll definitely catch
this being.
Catch this scum and punish them. You should go and do some more investigation for that too. I'll leave you for now, Yuki.
Alright. As if he needed, like, brain damage to make him more unhinged, you know?
This is actually good for us, though. Tsurugi managed to wake up. Is it going to be okay? Time is already... Oh, right. And what Tsurugi said was somewhat weird. Tsurugi mentioned he saw Kakeru collapsed, but Kakeru's time of death isn't until morning hours. So, was he unconscious until the killer showed up again? Bloodied and abandoned until the morning after? No. Miracles like Kizuna don't happen twice. Still, what Tsurugi said would be a clue to something, so it's good to put that in my memory. The more I investigate something, the more the mystery seems to grow deeper.
Oh no, Tsurugi barely got to look at anything. Wow, that was the intention, right?
Boo-hoo! Hey, you guys! I'm sorry you had to work so hard in your investigation. However, Mr. Monokuma is getting impatient. Why don't we just solve this together? That said, the class trial will now begin. Please gather at the red carpet door on the first floor as usual. What kind of results will be waiting for us in this trial? Isn't it exciting? Isn't it thrilling? Boo! Boo! I'll be waiting.
Uh-oh.
Time's up! But what about Tsurugi? He just started his investigation, but now we're already gathering. It's a big misfortune he was lying unconscious. But even without his help, we'll have to work through this together. Even if when I think about it, I haven't figured out the crime scene at all, though. Damn it. It won't make a difference if I stay here. If I'm late, I'll get punished. It's better to just go.
I mean, the other guys are behind you anyway. They haven't passed you by. You're standing in front of the stairs. They couldn't... Okay, we're here. Upon entering the entrance of the court, most of the guys were already gathered. I love just calling them the guys. The gang. The pals.
Yuki, you're here.
Are you the last one? So, Tsurugi never managed to get up in time?
What do you mean? Tsurugi isn't here?
Oh, what are you talking about? Did you see him or something?
I met with Tsurugi just before I got here.
Is that true? Oh, thank goodness he woke up.
But I can't see him. Is he invisible? She just starts feeling around the room. It's a matter of language to not have a class trial without properly investigating on his own. However, it's time for the meeting. Is he late because he wants to investigate as much as possible? That must be true.
It's like Tsurugi indeed. No way! But what if Tsurugi's the culprit in this case?
What is this nonsense deja vu again?
Truya, are you just saying that because they're late? Think about it and tell me, man.
Why not? It could happen, right?
What? Tsurugi could be the culprit?
Wouldn't it be more fun then? Psycho Cop finally goes to murder with his own bloody hands.
Ray agrees with my opinion for once, so, I think the universe might just explode.
Strangely, it's more scary when Ray says it.
What do you enjoy so much about this, Ray? Did you forget? In the class trial, you can die. I'd hoped you'd change at least a little, but you're the same as ever.
Because I know the killer and the trick even before going into the trial. All that's left is to watch you shovel their grave, right? I actually like that line.
Huh? You already know who the killer is?
Who is it?
Why should I tell you? Idiots. Don't worry. I enjoy watching you shoveling and struggling. I'm not sure if I should say this, but this is the first time I've ever thought about wanting to hit a woman this much.
By the way, where's Tsurugi? He's really late.
Time to die. All right, have you gathered? Good then, let's get started. As always, just take the elevator and go down. The trial design has been remodeled, so look forward to it.
But Tsurugi is not here.
Huh? Tsurugi's not here? Tsurugi was given a special time bonus due to his fainting condition. Here's what I want to say, but since he woke up and started investigating the case, it's presumed that he was going to participate in the class trial. So, this is my mistake. He won't get punished. I'll bring him shortly. Supersonic speed!
Okay.
Get off me, you stupid damn bear. Hey, what kind of supersonic speed is that?
No, it's just that when I was about to search for him, he was already at the door. Tsurugi is so obedient. He came and I didn't even need to call him.
Shut up and disappear before my eyes already.
Okay.
Tsurugi, are you alright?
Well, I did as much investigation as I could. Compared to the previous cases, the amount of information is extremely insufficient, but...
No, I asked if you were okay. You got hurt.
Oh, you mean my body? It's fine. I've experienced much worse injuries. Once or twice with
What? That sounds like a freaking demon from a Netflix special.
Look out for the Snatcher! Hey, it's been a while, hasn't it, Tsurugi? I didn't really expect to see you bleeding and fainting. I think you're forgetting something. I'm a human being too. I got caught off guard. Oh, why? Did you get fed up with us, Tsurugi? Clearly, last time you left the dining room, I thought you were totally breaking our bonds or something like that. Of course I did. That hasn't changed. The conditional situation of the class trial charges... suspends your charges as preliminary criminals. The criminal analogy is that the more manpower there is, the better. Because a murder has occurred, the rest of the criminals other than the criminal of this incident are simply ordinary citizens, to me.
Haruhiko's making a list of swearing words to give a comeback to Tsurugi once he woke up.
What? Hey, I never did that. Do whatever you like. This is a temporary truce anyways. After the trial, you'll be preliminary criminals once more. Of course, the Akane Taira's an exception. I'm always thinking of you as a semi-criminal.
What? Somebody, like... Okay.
One that committed attempted murder. Don't even think you're innocent in the least. And the crazy guy started freaking out again. Akane, don't bother with what this waste of a man says.
When Kiryoka died, we were thoroughly fighting with each other. If this difficult class trial... It's a difficult class trial ever if we have to work together. Something gave me an odd feeling, like this would be a harder trial than we'd ever faced.
That's enough talking. Let's get starting the trial, alright? Get on with it already.
Indeed, the first thing we must do now is solve what's in front of us. It is not good for everyone to be on edge this early.
Yeah, Rei and Kinji are right. If we don't pass the class trial now, we'll all die anyways. Relationships with the others, conflicts with Tsurugi, there are so many problems ahead of us. I want to solve them, but first, the biggest one. Let's begin our class trial. If we don't take care of it, nothing will be able to change in the end.
Do-do-do-do. Do-do. Do-do-do-do. Oh, I forgot I have to move. I was like, this is a weird cutscene. What now? Get down there already.
No way!
Whoa, that was weird.
No way! I think the number of people is a bit shorter, yeah? No? Well, the only thing left to do is this, right? When do we all start disappearing like this?
There's something dangerous about this case, and it seems that it'll be more complex than ever before. Be on guard. I investigated as much as I could. The only thing left to do is deduct from the results you gathered.
Please say a word to me, please. No! Okay.
I was insane for the most part after Ayame was executed. I couldn't talk much to those two. I'm so sorry, Kanata. So sorry, Kakeru.
Damn it! Killing two people at once! This is the worst! The worst thing ever! Oh, going here again and again. Now just smelling this place makes me feel nauseous.
Fair. Ah! They all looked at me.
Let's go down. I'll open the door.
Doom, doom, doom.
Doom, 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 doom. Like always, the elevator was making a loud noise as it went underground. The inside of the elevator was only filled with 9 people now. It was so quiet. There were fewer people, but was it more because the relationship between us is worsened from the first and second trials? Me in particular, I tried not to make eye contact with some of them, such as Tsurugi and Rei. I wonder if we'll really be able to survive this time.
Doom, doom, doom.
Oh god. The elevator just explodes and we all instantly die.
The elevator stopped with a shake that we seem to be getting used to it by now.
Red. Oh, it's purple.
Whoa, this is a surprise. Why are you in front of me, bear thing? Didn't you learn in kindergarten to think about the people who get off an elevator?
Monokuma's been doing this once or twice already, though. It's hard to really react anymore. Why is he not saying anything? Did somebody turn him off?
Why is Monokuma like this?
I guess it's a new act. Hey, how long are you planning to do this? We have to do a class trial. Are you going to move? Something seems different than usual here.
Mikako, touching that thing wouldn't do anything good.
Huh? What's wrong, Mikako?
Mikako was suddenly stunned. At first she thought Monokuma was playing a prank, but she noticed something and the mood was different than usual. And then...
Hiya! Eek! I'm alive! I live! And you thought I was dead!
When Mikako touched it, Monokuma suddenly began to make a loud noise.
The hell are you doing? Why are you kidding around?
Don't do that again! All of a sudden my rack was stuck. I was surprised too.
What does that mean, Rock?
No big deal. Did you all come down here in the meantime? Well done. Shall we start right away?
Looks like you're starting to rush through something here.
By the way, wasn't Mikako's scream cute?
Let's just move on.
Oh, Satsuki.
All right. It's time for what everyone's been waiting for. The class trial is back in session. Well, I, of course, knew this would happen.
Nobody waited for this.
Whatevs. It's not... Even if it's not you, there's someone else who is waiting. Anyway, this'll be the third class trial. Your own relationships. Who's been paying attention to the trends of the nerds? Seems to be in a state of lockdown, as if it were breaking.
Shut up! I don't care about that. Don't bring up stupid stuff and start this already.
Oh boy, tough crowd I see. I was gonna start anyways. Now then, shall we go with no more words and extreme drill? The class trial that crosses beyond life and death.
The third one. The moment Monokuma said that, I suddenly felt disoriented. Even when you think that 2 victims and 2 culprits died, 4 friends were already gone. In addition, the victims of this incident were double, so a total of 6 friends have left our group. One of the victims this time was Kanata.
What is this music? Why are we raving? This is highly inappropriate. Oh god.
After the infirmary was opened, she didn't know when someone would get hurt, so she spent most of her days in that room. A small girl with an angelic heart, the most angelic heart I've ever known, who worried about us, our health, and our happiness. Kanata was that kind of person. Through and through. The reason she died was because her whole body became a block of charcoal. I mean, okay. Her whole body was tied and unable to move. Someone who's done such a terrible thing is standing among us. They also killed Kakeru and committed ruthless acts. The culprit, although Kakeru was timid and behaved inappropriately due to his size, at important times he mediated the situation like a lawyer should, and we laughed together.
You mean he did that one time?
But then he was killed with a neck wound so severe it nearly amputated his head in cold blood. Kakeru's no longer with us. The trial to uncover the killer begins now. A trial in order to live, a lie in order to live, a betrayal in order to live, elaborating their will to live, sure, for an excuse to kill, using trust at the risk of life, risking our lives in this class trial.
Kind of a weird song to go out on, but there we go. We're gonna have remix music for the trial too, huh? This one hurts my ears a bit less, so I guess I'll take it. Why did I go to data 11? So I just imported my 10th save, right? Because it was the only one I needed. So I guess I could go back to save number 1. Let's do that. Okay. Well, that's the end of this episode. Oof. What's my thought? Kakeru definitely died first, right? The time of death is like a misnomer, or at least he was like attacked first, because I mean there's blood all over the place. Some of it's clearly from the blood transfusion packs, but I'm guessing those transfusion packs were necessary to cover up the blood at the actual scene of the crime. And then for some reason Kanata was also killed. She could have just walked into it like a Hyoko type situation, or perhaps the killer wanted to give us so many areas to investigate in order to sort of up their chances of people missing something important, you know? That's actually pretty smart. Like, putting a bunch of red herring locations. Also, I mean, This killer is obviously quite talented because they knocked out Tsurugi and Rei and Kinji. I mean, the only one that doesn't really make sense out of those three is Kinji, because he's not really good at trials. I mean, I guess he's level-headed. He doesn't freak out, so he's better than, like, Teruya, maybe. But Rei and Tsurugi are so much leagues ahead. If I was to pull off that kind of plan, I would definitely have gone for Mikako as well, but I guess she was in her room, so there's not really much you can do there. Unless we find out she wasn't, in which case, missed opportunity. Anyway, I'm going to go. Like the video, subscribe. If you made it this far, comment, oh baby, a triple. That'll work. Alright. Bye.